get up and further proof that we can take anyone's name and make it into a segment on the show.
No doubt.
It is time for What Say Lou with Louis Riddick. Lou, let's begin in New England. If someone were to say Drake Maye is the best quarterback from the 2024 draft class, what say, Lou?
Look, I can understand why they may say that, but I don't think it's time to start throwing dirt on Jayden Daniels so far. Okay, look, Jayden Daniels has been dealing with some injuries. He hasn't had all of his weapons. The team has been struggling a little bit. Remember, and I heard Alex Smith arguing about this on Sunday Countdown, I believe it was, and he was saying, hey, look, let's not forget the kind of season that this young man had just a year ago. A historically great season as a rookie as far as being a dual-run pass threat and really lifted that organization to heights that it hadn't seen in years. Jayden Daniels hasn't forgotten how to play football. When he's healthy and has all his weapons and everything is clicking, he will take care of his, and he will be the guy who is still the cream of the crop. Although I will say this, Drake Maye with Josh McDaniels, that is a hell of a combination right now in New England.
Let's bring this out to the table. I want to talk about this. The worst thing about sports debate is that usually when you're making a point in favor of one side, you feel like you need to make a point against the other side. The last thing on earth I want to do is knock Jayden Daniels. He's unbelievable. He had the greatest rookie season of all time. And if he was the quarterback of my team, I would kneel on the ground and thank the Lord.
Yeah, not going to happen. Unfortunately.
But quite literally. That said, if they were doing the draft again, you and I said they would do the draft. There is something to be said about the way Drake Maye is built that looks like it might last longer. I mean, the big fear on Jayden Daniels when he came into the league was that the slighter frame does leave you at greater risk of injury, and here we are in his second season, and we're having injury problems. Now, again, I love him. But I think if we were doing the draft all over again right now and you gave truth serum to 32 teams, I think Drake Maye would wind up going first more than anyone else. That's what I think. Kimberly's eyes are telling me she disagrees strongly.
It's just, you know what, again, it's the recency bias for me, Jeffrey. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, Drake Maye's the shiny new toy. Oh, he's the greatest. I understand the build comment with Jayden Daniels, but all last year he was fine. I get this year he's had the hamstring and he's had the knee, but that doesn't mean that Drake Maye, because he's 6'5" and a little thicker, can't have an injury as well. I just don't see the season that Jayden Daniels had last year. We've just sort of forgotten about it. The same way we forgot about C.J. Stroud's first rookie year. I just think we just do this every year, and it's a bit unfortunate.
Well, I don't think C.J. Stroud is a good argument in favor of Jayden Daniels because he's kind of come back to earth in a significant way. He's still a very good player, but, I mean, it was an incredible rookie year, and it hasn't looked like that since.
The interesting thing about C.J. Stroud is just having talked to him, he's very aware of that conversation that surrounds him. Okay, and he says, hey, look, a lot of the things have changed around me, too. You know, since my rookie season. I haven't forgotten how to play quarterback because if you listen to people talk, they think that all of a sudden I suck. And see, what I'm saying about, I know what you're saying about, look, Drake Maye and his build, look, if you get your knee rolled up on and get it caught in a bad position, Drake Maye's knee is going to get hurt too, just like Jayden Daniels. Remember when they had this conversation about Jared Goff when he came out, and they were comparing Jared Goff to Carson Wentz, who was going to have the better career? Jared Goff has been a pillar of consistency. Carson Wentz has had nothing but injuries. He's dealt with nothing but them. So I don't get too caught up on all that. But look, and that's, again, I don't want to get drawn into, like, trying to bang on Drake Maye because Drake is the truth.
I will say this. Drake Maye, and this is not just because of the Carolina connection, obviously I pull for Drake Maye, but I would pick him specifically for the situation he's in right now, right? When I look at the way that he is athletic, he can get outside the pocket, he can do it inside the pocket. He has Josh McDaniels leading him and teaching him the mentorship he'll have there. I think when you look back as we go through the years, that's not saying Jayden Daniels can still be a baller and have a fantastic career as well. I think Drake Maye is going to have a sick career. I really do.
Peter, quick final word.
Quick final word is that they both were paired with offensive coaches this year. And, you know, Cliff Kingsbury is in that year with Jayden Daniels, and they had such great success last year. Injuries have happened. Things are tough for him in his sophomore season. He'll be back, I think, this week in that Sunday night game, and we'll see where Jayden goes. But if you ever question coaching and environment, we can't say Josh McDaniels' name enough, but Mike Vrabel's as well. That suddenly there's order and there's some sort of vision, and last year it wasn't there for Drake Maye. Remember, we were banging on Drake Maye last year.
You're right. But see, okay, so the same holistic praise that we're putting on New England right now, we were doing that last year with Washington.
That's right.
We were doing the exact same thing. Oh, my goodness, look at how this whole organization has been turned around. Look how Adam Peters is exactly.
The same risk.
Right. So, look, I think we're in a golden age right now in terms of young quarterbacks.
Yes.
That draft class is going to wind up being historic.
It could. And look, Caleb is starting to look really good, and Bo Nix is playing great and all that. Again, I want to repeat what I said at first. I'm not looking to knock anybody.
Right.
Jayden Daniels is unbelievable. All right, go to the next one. Lewis, if I said Jonathan Taylor, the MVP of the league, what say Lewis?
I would say 100%.
Go for it. I like
exactly
that.
Right.
Let's go.
This has long been one of my favorite players in the NFL. From the time I got to see him play against South Florida when he was at Wisconsin about 7-8 years ago, or whatever it was. This guy has got power. He's got speed. He was a guy who people were knocking him. One of the reasons why JT fell is because people thought his ball security wasn't good enough, and they didn't think he'd be a threat out of the backfield as a receiver. He is the total package. He's with an offensive line that is playing nasty right now. And the dude is look, the guy has over 20 runs of 10-plus yards already this year.
Jeff.
Don't ask Jeff what he
Jeff, you're in. Okay, fair enough. Come on. Let me move on to the next one because we used up a lot of our. Let's get to one more here. Lewis, if I said Jordan Love is ready to lead the Packers to a Super Bowl, what say Lou?
I say you're absolutely right.
Wow.
A year ago, we were on here and we were talking about, look, if you could pick one young quarterback at that time, I think it was back in the spring, who you would say you would want to start a franchise with, who would you pick? And I said it would be Jordan Love. Wow. Because the dude is just as smooth as silk. He is being taught by a very good offensive-minded coach that has a very good scheme, a very good top-down approach to quarterback development and offensive development, and you're seeing it all now come to fruition. He has got young weapons. He's got an offensive line. He has got a beast at running back, and he's playing with ridiculous confidence. I think really the Super Bowl in the NFC is you're going to have to play in Green Bay late.
Wow. What do you think, Peter?
I cannot wait for 2 weeks from now, Monday Night Football, because I look at it as the defending NFC champions and also the Super Bowl champion Eagles, with all this friction and all this heat around them right now that there's so much drama, and yet Green Bay, everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
They're ascending. It's kumbaya. Yeah. And when you add Micah Parsons, suddenly it feels like the narrative on Green Bay is they're the team, and meanwhile Philly's sitting there as this this team that's just being torn apart from the outside.
The NFC is so much better right now than the AFC. There's so many good teams, including the Rams, who you have this weekend.
Yeah, Vikings, Lions. I have.
Vikings, Lions.
But yes, I agree with you on the Rams. I will say, if you're going to ask me, can Jordan Love lead this team to the Super Bowl? My answer is no doubt. Will he? I just think there are a lot of good teams in the NFC, so I'm not ready to go there just yet.
But if you're picking one, if you're picking one, is that the one you're picking?
Not me. I mean, I would pick the Eagles still. I mean, when I Jordan Love, this is going to be the same conversation you have about Josh Allen, about Lamar Jackson. Like when he hits the playoffs, his last two playoff performances have been ugly. And I mean, whether it's in Green Bay, whatever it is.
First one in Dallas was pretty darn good.
Yeah, it was good, and Dallas helped him. I mean, he lit it up, but Dallas helped him. But the last two, it's. And listen, don't think quarterbacks don't hear it. I played with one for 6 years, bro. All he hears is about what his role has to be. It's all kumbaya in the regular season. Wait till the bright lights turn on, dude. It's a different season. When you start hitting the playoffs, those defenses don't give up a bunch of points. They don't let you come run through it. It's going to be physical, ugly football. You got to find ways to win. It is a different spotlight on quarterbacks come playoffs.
But don't you think he's building up those habits right now that are going to benefit him once the postseason rolls around? And he got a pretty physical, nasty football team on his side, too, on both sides of the ball. So, look, I think Jordan's going to be there, no doubt. It'll be fun to watch.
To the end of it, I picked the Rams because you could pick any of a bunch of other teams.
For sure.
I think Seattle will be hurt.
Stafford.
The whole thing is said and done, and so will the Lions. Coming up, a superstar.